inside my head.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wichita Wolves podcast. This is the first podcast that we're doing today. I'm John. I am brand new to Wichita Wolves, and I am very excited to be here. And yeah. Mhm.
Beautiful. Round of applause.
Oh, Pogi. Is your mic unmuted on stream?
No way. No way.
It's
not.
all good. It's all good.
we are expecting a few errors since this is our first podcast that we are attempting tonight. So
Bear with us.
Don't expect perfection.
Yeah. You have to click your microphone on Streamlabs. The little speaker.
Can we hear him, chat?
Can we get confirmation in chat if we can hear Pogi?
I can't hear him.
No.
All right, now try. Now try. I did it.
We good?
Yep.
Can we get-
Okay. We got confirmation on that. Can we actually start? Are we? Emmy?
I have no.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
We're good. Okay.
Okay. Well, that was a nightmare and a half. Well, anyway, going back to my Twitter handle is not 1-800-2dank. It is actually Pogi Murga. I'm the social media coordinator for the Wichita Wolves, and I'm also hosting this wonderful podcast. It's already off to a wonderful start. And so I guess let's start with why we're doing the podcast in the first place. So we pretty much decided that we wanted to let you guys know who's behind the Wolves. Like you know the names of who's running it, you know who the players are, but do you actually know who these people are? We know they have stories, they have stuff they want to share, they have stuff they want to say that's on their mind, and might as well just bring them to a platform where they can express that.
Mm-hmm. And it's really going into their lives and seeing how they react in this type of environment and an esports team. I feel like it's a good opportunity to learn what they do and how they can better themselves in an esports team and see what everything's like behind the scenes.
Yeah. So with that being said, we do have some wonderful guests that's on our on this episode. So let's start with Scrimsy, if he wants to introduce himself. And
My name is.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
And Scrimsy, what do you do for the Wichita Wolves? The world wants to know.
I'm the president and CEO of the Wichita Wolves. I'm the original founder. Originally got this wonderful esports team started August 1st, and never looked back. Absolutely love what we do here at the Wolves.
That's awesome. And so let's go to our next guest. Anthony, do you want to introduce yourselves? I know your name tag's not on there while I'm trying to fix some stuff, but mind if you introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, I'm Anthony Vu. I actually just got back from getting some coffee just here.
Bro, I drank a cup of coffee like right before this, and I'm like jittered right now. You don't even know?
I'm the opposite right now. I'm like about
Wow.
passed out.
I forgot to get my coffee. I'm upset.
Oh no.
Your coffee during podcast? Come on, it's
Yeah.
1 and 1.
Sorry.
Anyway, keep going. Or is that all?
Let's see. Yeah, that's all.
All right, and
What
then
do you do here
What
at
do
the
you
Wolves?
do?
yeah, what do you do?
Oh yeah.
You just a coffee boy?
Now, okay, so, hi, I'm Anthony Vu. I'm the community director here at Wichita Wolves. Let's see. I just got coffee, French vanilla, creamer.
So you're the coffee boy, is what it seems like.
Yeah.
Coffee boy. I don't drink enough coffee for this.
Meanwhile, I'm a literal coffee holic, and I'm not talking about coffee enough. So
All right,
unfortunate.
Timur, let's move on to you.
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Timur. I am the Chief Technology Officer in the org. I did everything technical for the org till now. I have been here since like 1 month since the beginning. Yeah, I made the website, I made the pod, I customized the Discord, like everything technical is done by me.
And we love Timur very, very much.
Yes.
Give him a lot of crap, but we love him.
We have to.
Yeah, that's our form of mutual respect to one another. We just talk crap on each other for like every day, and that's how it goes.
Of course.
Yeah, and finally we have our last guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Bryce. I'm the head of esports for Wolves. So I oversee all of the esports teams that Wolves have playing in all of our many different titles.
Such as?
Such as, I mean, we have an Overwatch team, we have a League of Legends team, we have a Call of Duty team, multiple Call of Duty teams. We're pretty much in depth in everything esports. We're about to pick up some teams I can't talk about, but
They're not supposed to know that.
almost
Not yet,
docked some
at least.
stuff.
We were about to kick you out. That's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
Let's be careful and not leak anything too important
Yeah.
during this podcast. So.
And I guess before we move on, I do want to give a special shout out to Josh, aka Deranged. He was
playing over the
what?
podcast.
What?
Hang on, am I never mind, ignore me.
But yeah, we just want to give a special shout out to Deranged, aka Josh. He was supposed to be a guest on here today, but couldn't make it due to illness. So just want to send out some love to him.
Get better, buddy.
Get better. We miss you.
Okay, good.
All right.
Take some medicine.
All right. So I guess that goes over everything for introductions. Do you think I'm missing anything right now, John?
No, I think we hit all the marks there. I guess we can go on to the first thing we're going to be talking about, which is
Just
do you want to start with Scrimsy? Or?
yeah, just pretty much. What are you guys up to? Like, I know times right now are pretty tough. We're indoors most of the time. So, like, is there like anything you're doing while quarantine is passing by? Any games you're playing? Any just what are you guys doing? Up to?
I wish I could say that I've been playing games. If anyone knows me and talks to me on like a consistent basis, they know that I've been waiting for a specific game to come out for months and months and months and months. And for some reason, the developers keep pushing it back. So I'm just sitting here in front of my computer for some reason.
Bad, dude. It's 'cause it's gotten
Man,
so
can I-
bad.
can-
The game is Cyberpunk is not going to be bad. First of all, like whoever's saying that, you're wrong, and you need to stub your toe or a Lego.
Dang!
But there's just nothing to play right now, and I don't know what else to do. So I just pouring all my effort and all my time into the company. But I have actually been playing Total War Warhammer 2. It's been
Nice.
really fun. Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. Heard you got.
I never really got into Warhammer games.
Yeah, neither have I actually. Kind of
When I
ashamed.
play it, I literally can crack an egg and on my computer, and I'm pretty sure I can make breakfast. It heats my whole house. It heats my whole house. So.
Man. Heard you also got a
So
Switch
I-
too. Does anyone have a Switch? Just curious.
Yes.
I have a Switch. I play. I've been playing Animal Crossing a whole bunch since that's come out,
Man.
and I'm pretty sure everyone has too if they have a Switch.
Problem is, like,
Yeah,
I don't think I'd be into Animal Crossing. Like, I'm not really into.
That's what I said
Yeah.
at first, but I stand corrected, and I've poured many hours into that game already, and
He put 50 hours in the last 2 weeks.
What the fudge? But no, like, there's other Switch games I need to buy. I still need to play Pokemon. I still need, like, I'm still finishing up Breath of the Wild right now. I still need to play Odyssey.
are you kidding
You have a
me?
lot
Yeah.
to catch up on.
What?
I do.
Wow.
And I'm
I mean,
broke right
no better
now.
time than now, dude. No better time than now.
We
Right.
got like a year from now.
Heck yeah. Alright, so how about you, Anthony? What are you up to?
Dude, schoolwork nonstop. I'm still taking classes at WSU and Butler, and
Nice.
this is the finals week, and just been studying nonstop. Once this week is over, oh boy, I'm planning on binging Valorant, getting good in that game.
Oof.
You're planning ranked.
No, I'm like 2 games away until I can play competitive.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys right now.
Silver 2, Silver 2.
I'll tell you guys right now. I am the worst FPS player ever. Like, you do not want to play Overwatch with me at all.
I really don't like Valorant. If you don't mind me stepping in here,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
don't like Valorant. I just gotta say, I really do. I think it's, for me, I think it's a little too easy, in my opinion.
Dude, easy.
Okay. The reason why I say that, I don't really like the way they've implemented a lot of different things. I like some ideas that they have. I really don't like their maps. Their maps are very enclosed. They're all
I agree.
like super close, and it's really just it's not a game that I would personally get super into, mostly because of some game mechanics. The small things are the things that bother me. I prefer CS:GO way more than Valorant, because I think it's a more polished game. Maybe later on, if they polish up Valorant, I will get into it. But as of right
Valorant
now,
is in closed beta, by the way.
yeah.
Ooh, we probably
as
gotta
of
turn
right
that
now,
off.
I'm not gonna be playing Valorant anymore, really. Plus, I don't really like the fact that you have to install a rootkit on your PC in order to play it. So
Agreed.
I've talked to several of my friends about this already, and they dislike the Riot. Was it Vanguard?
Vanguard, yeah.
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 Because of it. I'm not a big fan of it, but I mean, I'm just.
I guess I'm out. I guess I'm out of the loop. Like, what? Like, why are people so against Vanguard? Because like I had like 3 different people ask me my opinions on it ever since they found out I played Valorant. So
If you don't mind me explaining, everyone.
No, please.
What their anti-cheat is, it's basically it runs as soon as you turn on your PC, and it runs all the time, whether or not you're playing Valorant or not. And you can't turn it off unless you uninstall the game. So it's kind of, sketchy to have a company like Tencent, which is owned by China, have an anti-cheat that's running all the time in the background, where they could be data mining or something. behind your back.
Right.
It's a very sketchy thing, and a lot of people don't trust it, which is very understandable for them.
and there's no way you
So-
can like disable it at all, or
Not that I know of personally.
Exit on start when you like launch Windows. You can exit out of the program, but if you want to play Valorant, you'll have to restart your computer.
I see.
Yeah. So that's the main reason why people are just not having a good time with it. So
I've
yeah.
also heard it's like really picky about just programs that aren't even like hacks or anything like that, and it won't let you play
Yeah.
Valorant unless you restart your computer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is very. I don't like that at all. I'd rather just get right to the game, and that's how I feel about it.
The thing is, right, as of now, the game is really, really easy to hack. It's still in closed beta,
Yeah.
and a lot of scripts that you can do easily with it. That's why they have.
I saw on Twitter that I follow an account called Overwatch PD, and recently they've been they've been cracking down on some Valorant cheaters as well, and apparently all of the highest rank in Valorant is kind of infested with cheaters right now. So if you're
Ugh.
thinking about going high in the rankings in Valorant, then I gotta warn you, there's gonna be some cheaters there.
That's
My-
in most high elo games, though.
Well, my stance is like
True.
if you're gonna be a company like Riot and you're gonna implement something like that and it's gonna run and it's gonna root itself in the background of like any game that you play that's Riot, at least have a decent anti. You know what I mean? Like at least have it do
Yeah.
its job. Like if you're gonna be running in the background data mining, like whatever, but at least do what you're supposed to be doing. Like you know what I mean? Like I feel like the argument like what you were saying, Bryce, like most games like have that. Like I totally agree, and that's just shitty anti-cheat. But I think if you're gonna be Riot and you're gonna have one that has a precedent like that one, and it's always on your computer and it's literally rooted itself, that it should at least do what it's intended to do.
A lot of people are comparing it to ESEA because they had a fallback way in the past where ESEA was actually had a data miner or a Bitcoin miner, my bad, in the background when you installed the ESEA. So and they got in huge trouble for that, and eventually they ended up taking that out. But a lot of people have a lot of trust issues with a lot of programs that have you restart your PC in order to have play the game. So I completely understand as to why people are upset about all that, and it's not my thing, and yeah.
I just find it weird because like Riot's other game, the one that no one likes to talk about, League of Legends. But their other game, like they,
Runeterra.
well, I love the Runeterra. What? But now, like for some reason, like League of Legends has actually toned down on like the amount of cheaters that are in the game, and like hardly you'll ever see like any scripters anymore.
Well, yeah, you can
Yeah.
only see scripters though. You can't really get away with speed hacking in League of Legends.
Yeah, like there's not. I guess there's not really a whole lot of stuff to get away with, but like scripting was a huge problem in like season 4, 5, 6, and now like you barely
Yeah.
see any.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'm surprised there are that many cheaters in Valorant as there is, because Riot Games at the very start of the closed beta are very confident in Vanguard, where they had, I remember seeing on Twitter a contest where the first person to actually hack in Valorant was given a dollar amount. I forget what it was, but
I
it was a
remember you
pretty
saying
good
that.
sum of money.
Yeah,
right.
and they did it anyway.
So
It's a big issue. Yeah.
yeah. So Tamora, what are you up to, other than being the hacking programming guy here?
What have I been up to? I've been sleeping all day, bro. That's it. Eat, sleep.
I know that feel. Like I work, like I got up at like I work at a coffee shop, and I had to get up at like 5:15 this morning.
Ooh.
And yeah, like 5:15 to or 5:30, 5:45 to 12. That was my
Yeesh.
shift. Tips are really good today though, so I can't complain.
Muy buen, muy buen.
So how about you, Fump?
I've been
you doing?
playing an insane amount of World of Warcraft.
Sorry.
You
I've
know,
been playing.
go ahead.
They have an event going on right now, and it's to the pre-patch of the next expansion, of where it's 100% XP gain from everything.
Okay.
So I started
my
on a new
goodness.
server, and I play on Alliance on this server, and I almost have every character max level
Nice.
for this event. So this coronavirus has been productive for me.
Productive in the
Yeah,
World of
good-
Warcraft
Some
field.
good things come from bad things.
Right.
You know.
Have any of you guys actually played World of Warcraft or?
I tried it in the past when it was.
I
just
played a
called
free
WoW.
trial. I played a free trial. Got to like level 5, and then realized like the second quest literally took 6 hours of going back and forth, and I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm good."
Yeah,
do something
it's
else."
a really grindy game to say the least.
Every time I hear WoW, it just reminds me of that one South Park episode where we're addicted to it.
Well, like everyone thinks of that South Park episode. It's probably the
That
closest.
episode is so funny.
It's probably the closest thing to an
I mean,
esports
just
episode we'll
because I
get at South
play
Park.
the game and I get the jokes.
Gosh, man, gosh.
That's probably the closest thing we'll get to like an esports episode of South Park.
Mhm.
Considering the reason why they made that episode, from what I've heard at least, was they the creators played like a few months of World of Warcraft and decided to make an episode of it.
Mhm.
You can't say the same thing about like them playing like League or CS:GO or Call of Duty or whatever, because they haven't
Yeah,
like
What
because
put
about the
much time in that.
Simpsons esports episode?
Oh yeah, the Simpsons did do one. That was
Ooh.
Yeah, they did one on the
Yeah.
LCS recently.
yeah. Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How recent was that?
that was like a few months ago.
Was that the one
They,
where
made-
like
they poked
I
fun at
haven't
League of
heard of that.
Legends, and Bart was on like a winning LCS team.
I wasn't.
And they'd be, like,
What?
Wasn't that the one where Bart had like that like awesome gaming rig and then he grew like a I don't know, like a really weird mustache or whatever? The
I think so.
yeah, like that was my profile pic on Twitter for a while.
The episode was actually really funny.
Yeah.
It was really entertaining.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen Simpsons in like years, so
Yeah.
All right, so I talked about this earlier before the podcast. Recently, or as of today, I think, or it was either today or last night, there was a YouTube uploaded, and it was it basically showcased Unreal Engine 5 and that it's going to be running on the PS5, and they showcased a little bit of gameplay, and I'm very excited to see what more and how much potential Unreal Engine 5 has for future games, because it looked very, very beautiful and it looked very optimized as well. And it looked incredible. And I was wondering if any of you guys have seen it, or if you're excited about what comes in the future for next gen.
I
video
haven't
games
seen
in
it.
general.
I haven't seen it, but I can remember vividly when the original, or not with the original, but when the Xbox One and the PS4 came out, or when they were teasing it, it was, and this is just part of their marketing ploy at the end of the day. And when they're teasing these consoles and these games for these consoles, you never truly know what it's going to be. And like, although like Unreal, like they're, it is fairly trustworthy, I'm concerned in like a little bit more being hesitant of being like, oh my god, this engine, it's so great, because I really won't know what it's like until I either see like an official gameplay or like or I have it in my hands and I'm playing it. Just because I was fairly I wasn't too happy with how the Xbox One and PS4 did. I feel like at the time where PC gaming was and what they were teasing at that time, that it was going to be something a lot more than what it is or what it was. And I'm more so concerned that we're just going to kind of get the same thing here, and we're just going to pay $500 to $600 for something that you can't upgrade when you can always
Yeah.
keep it.
What about you, Timur? Have you seen the video at all, or?
Yeah, I saw it, but like, it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say.
All right.
Sorry.
yeah. Does
What about you?
I-
In a few words.
Right, and in my opinion, I see no difference between it, like very little difference between the five.
I feel like there's like little differences that make it look better to me personally. I think like taking real life structures and actually putting them in the engine, and then putting them in like a game, and having all like different light sources and light physics and physics in general. Yeah, I think it just, all of that together really makes up what I think looks like incredible. Like, it looks real life. And I saw like a comment earlier that they're going to be changing the name from Unreal Engine to Real Engine from how much it looks like real life and stuff.
That's really cool.
The only like
Yeah.
the thing is, it's
It
the
does.
lighting engine, and that's what changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you need like a good the volumetric lighting in the video I saw was
Mhm.
like way cleaner and smoother than the one you can get in like, the 4.
Yeah.
And the way it reflects off the surfaces is also like better than the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
go ahead.
Before. I don't know if you guys have seen like Unreal Engine 4 stuff before.
Yeah.
I don't read like any good games that are made in Engine 4. Like uh the surface scattering, like the I don't know what you call that thing, like the amount of light that is bounced off a surface.
Refraction.
No, it's surface
Reflection.
exclusion, something like I don't really actually remember the term,
Yeah.
but that is handled very well in 5 by the looks of the video that I saw.
Mhm.
All right.
What about you, Anthony? Have you
I
seen
think
anything
I
on
think
it?
he's muted right now. But, never mind.
I'm here. No, I have not seen any new trailers for any of it. I've been way too busy in the books. How long ago was this?
It was
few
like
days.
today.
Yeah, it was today.
Was it today? Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it.
At least I have an excuse if I was setting stuff up for the stream and I didn't watch it. Anyway, I can't say the name on screen here, but thanks for the follow. Sorry about that.
I can- I'll help you fix all that when we're done.
Okay. But anyway, does anyone else have anything to add about the thing or the engine before we go on? I'm sorry.
I feel like unless you're like a developer or you're like really heavily in depth and like keeping up with Unreal Engine, you're not gonna really notice the new differences with 5, and unless they like outright state like this is what we've added, this is what you're gonna be on the look for, because most people would just
Mhm.
chalk that up to the game's like art style,
Mhm.
and they would just associate that feature with that game.
I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like-
That's crazy.
I'm just on the ride of I just want the game to look good. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is all Chinese to me pretty much. So
Yeah.
Like
Go ahead.
like I personally like apparently like the PS4 Pro to like the original PS4, there's like this vast difference, but I just can't see it. So
right.
that's just where I
I think
stand
it's
with it.
more. I think it's more performance related with the PS4 Pro. I feel like Unreal Engine 5 can bring a lot of more things to the table, performance-wise and optimization. What they brought up a lot in the video was how many triangles and were in each like pixel. Like there's like in one of the statues there was like 1,000,000 triangles that makes up like a statue or something like that, something related to that. I don't really know the specifics, but they kept going back to that, and like this showed how many like triangles were in like one room, and it hurt my eyes to see so many like little pixels and dots. Like it was crazy to see how many were in like just one room, and the game itself that they showed off, I don't know what it's called, but it looked incredible with the character and the physics with like her clothing and stuff, her hair, the cloth that was like dangling around her neck. It all looked really nice. And for the future of like game developers, I feel like they're gonna have a harder time trying to use these elements to their advantage, since you can already do similar things with Unreal Engine 4 and stuff, but to make it like so much like stronger and better, if you get what I'm trying to say, is it's going to be kind of a stretch to do. But other than that, PS4, the PlayStation, they're known for their graphics mainly, and they do not disappoint, especially with that video. They can render it at 8K and everything. Like that's crazy.
Holy
to me.
smokes. Yeah. That is pretty insane. Back in the front.
Hey, John, I'm just curious. Like, are you in a programming background at all?
I am not, unfortunately. I've wanted to in the past, but I kind of gave up on it because I thought it was boring.
That's pretty much how my college career went. I don't blame you at all. But anyway, I think now we're going to go into a 1 minute ad break, but we will be back and we'll have some more stuff to talk about in a bit. So see you guys then.
Consistent viewers. But...
And we're back, guys.
Hello.
Hello. You heard nothing.
All right. Do you want to lead off with this one, Poggy?
Yeah, so I guess while we're on the topic of why we brought all these important people to the podcast today, like these are all they all have a head position of the Wichita Wolves. And one thing I bet the people are wanting to know is, how did you guys get into esports? So who wants to start off?
I can. No
Okay,
problem.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so I never truly understood before a couple of years ago, like, how esports was going to work, and I was really naive to not know. This was like 4 or 5 years ago, but I got into esports by actually being invited to play on a semi-professional PUBG team.
Nice.
And so played semi-professional PUBG for a season. Got really, really, really close to qualifying for a PAX event. We played with the likes of people like Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, and before that event and before that season, I had played PUBG like maybe 3 or 4 hours, which was crazy. And so I just put in tons and tons of hours to be on this team. So for the PAX East event, we were 1 point away from actually getting sent fully funded to PAX East. And that 1 point equates to like getting 1 kill or being alive for like 5 more seconds. And so I was like, okay, I'm not good enough to be a player. I hung up the jersey. And so for the past couple years since that had happened, I've just been planning and I've been looking and monitoring how all these other esports teams run and operate and how they do business. So I've just been kind of planning, like, how am I going to start an esports team? And so in August, finally, once I moved to Wichita, put all these plans and ideas I had together and launched the Wichita Wolves. So
Nice. So, did he say Doc played pro at one point, or?
Well, for the PAX events, like they'll always have like Twitch streamers or stuff like that. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
get more eyes on the event.
Like, how about you, John? How did you get into esports? We're just starting to get to know you, so how did you get to hear
Well,
us?
I've been following a lot of esports for a while, and I haven't really thought about joining an esports team at all. I don't really think I'm good enough to be on an esports team specifically, but I've always been really into casting games. Like, I've done casting in the past. I've always been interested in doing all that, and I thought maybe one day I could be able to do that. So yesterday I got contacted by Scrimsy, and he wanted me to be on the podcast. Short notice, but it's fine. I'm very happy to be on here, and I'm basically doing this to get some experience in and see how I feel about being in this community, and maybe taking another leap to the next platform. and seeing where I go from here. And so far, on this podcast, I feel like it's a good thing for me. And yeah.
Nice. So, doesn't he have an amazing voice for casting? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
who's that?
We will definitely be employing him over at Wolfpack Tourney for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
man.
voice of Rich Molasses.
And if I ever have,
You just got
Yeah, he
out.
just got out.
you just lagged out, Scrimsy.
Oh no,
Oh,
he's been
no.
having
Lost
trouble in
boys.
Wichita with Discord the last few days.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Is it his internet or
Right,
his
well,
Discord?
I'm pretty sure it's Discord. Like him and Josh have had internet. It's just Discord shits the bed for them.
Yikes.
F in the chat, boys.
F.
F in the
Yeah,
chat,
just put
boy.
an F in chat for Scrimsy. Hopefully he will
He's
come
gonna
back.
join on his phone. He's like, I hate Discord. Removing the TeamSpeak.
Alright. So does
in
anyone
the
else have
meantime-
anyone else have a story to share about how they got into esports?
Bryce, you want to
I'll
go?
tell mine. Yeah. So, like my kind of first introduction with esports was my friend's stepbrother is the director at Maryville Esports, and he's the general manager for United. So it was also like kind of like a real like role model in my life to kind of model my business plan after his. Is if I can't be a player, there's also like many different routes in esports that you can take.
Yeah.
I went to my first tournament when I was 14. I played semi-professional Hearthstone for a while, and I played in the first Tavern Heroes qualifier.
Nice.
But when
Dang.
Blackhawk Mountain was the main expansion, and then how I actually found Wolves was I got my scholarship for college to play League of Legends in ULL, and I hung out around Wichita a lot whenever I was at McPherson. So I was just scrolling through Twitter one day whenever I was home, and I saw the ad for Wichita Wolves, and I played.
Nice.
Nice. You said you were semi-professional in Hearthstone?
Yeah, I played on a few qualifiers, but nothing really big came from it.
Think by
How'd that go for you?
go ahead.
I mean, it was all right. Like playing Hearthstone was really fun, and I always loved playing card games. Like I was a big Magic the Gathering fan whenever I was in high school. I played in a lot of Friday Night Magic tournaments and Star City Games stuff.
Wow.
Nice.
But when Hearthstone came out, I actually played Hearthstone in the beta, and I played up until season 11 or 12 competitively.
Dang.
And the only reason I hate Hearthstone as an esport is because no matter how hard you practice, like you can lose to like dumb random chance, unlike League, where you can like sit down and hard grind and see progress. But in Hearthstone, it's just a hard numbers game.
Or literally like any other esport, pretty much.
Yeah, you got sick and tired of, oh, I lose the 40% chance. Well,
That's kind of
I mean,
how
what I can do. I guess he's just better.
I think that's how card games go in general. Like you have a
it's-
certain win
it's very
condition
like
with a
that.
deck that you run, but like you have to draw everything, and most of it is just like chance and numbers anyway.
Hearthstone is definitely harder because whenever they added Discover, like Discover is a common mechanic where you nowadays wherever you get a random selection of 3 cards and you choose the one between those 3. Before that was a thing, Hearthstone was very competitive, and there were very like specific things that you would use your counters on. But now you can just get completely blindsided from a random Discover, and it's just, in my opinion, a little unfun.
Do you still play Hearthstone? Just curious.
Just casually.
Yeah, like I stopped playing when like pirates were pretty much the meta. I don't know if it still is or not, but I heard they have like a new hero now, and like I don't even know what he does. Is it Illidan, right?
New hero is actually Demon Hunter. That just came
Yeah.
out. It's the first class they've ever added to Hearthstone. That class has been nerfed and hotfixed about 3 times now, and it just came out like a month ago.
Right.
It is so overtuned.
I tried getting into Hearthstone. I never really, I never could. I really wanted to do. I thought it was a very interesting game. I was really into card games at the time, and I had the game on my phone. I had it, and I played it at school, but I never got into it, and I never could, and I just kind of stopped, and I got more into FPS games.
Guess the reason why I stopped playing was because I was tired of like having to drop $50 for just to be competitive. like when
Welcome
it comes
back,
to
Squeezy.
Oh my god.
Discord again. I was just explaining to them that your
Dude,
Discord's been acting up.
I don't know what's going on with my Discord, dude. Like, I literally everything else is fine. I was watching the stream, but Discord for like the past couple days it just stops. I don't understand.
Sorry to hear
Weird.
that.
Yeah, it's all good. F's in the chat, boys.
F's in the chat.
Yeah, that's pretty much my story.
So, how about Timur? Like Timur comes from the ancient land of Canada, and it's kind of interesting seeing him join an org based in Wichita. So, Timur, how did you come to like esports and come to find us?
It's a very funny story. I had a friend. We used to play League a lot, and then this guy just comes into my call and is like, "Bro, I'm working for this org. You want to make a website for me?" I'm like, okay, sure." I go into the call. I meet Dylan. He like tells me, "Okay, we need a website for our org." At first, I thought this was like a club kind of thingy. I didn't really think this was an org. Okay. I made a website, and like the first website I ever made for the org was like pretty bad. Okay, it wasn't that good. I showed it to Dylan, and he's like, no, that's not good."
Yeah,
For the
I didn't say that. I did not say that. Exactly that.
Okay.
Some,
Okay.
somewhere along the lines.
Right? I said this is not good, right? And he's like, yeah. And then for the next 3 days, I made the website we're using right now in like 3 days, and it's been like growing ever since.
Huge upgrade, by the way.
What?
Huge
You said
upgrade.
it. You said it, not me. You said it.
And then I made a Discord bot, and then I started growing from there. We made the Twitter bot right now, and working on Twitch extensions.
The truth is, he's here on accident, and he doesn't know how to leave. And so he's here.
God, isn't that the harshest truth I've ever heard? That's like that meme format, like hard pills to swallow, and it's just a big ass pill.
It is a big pill with the Wolves logo. That's just what it is.
All right. Well, Anthony, you're our last one. Do you have anything to say?
Oh, where to start? How do I get into esports? I heard it from so when I started college, right? This was back in 2016. One of my friends told me there's an esports organization on WSU campus, and I was like, heck yeah, let's play video games. So me and my buds went over there, made a team for League of Legends, and played for them. That organization soon became Midwest Esports, which they're now United Esports. What are they called, Dylan?
Oh my gosh.
God, I can look this up real quick.
They are called Unified Esports Association.
Yeah. So they went from a club group, right, into a national company within a matter of 4 years, and that's where I started. Was when they were a club organization, and then I moved from the club organization to Midwest Esports, and that's when I met Dylan. Dylan back in, what was it?
It's like September.
October? November?
No, yeah, it was October, November. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there. We met at a Smash tournament, and he came over there, talked to some of the guys there, and I happened to be there because I was working overtime for Wichita State's own esports at that time. Which is kind of weird because I'm like all over the city in terms of esports, but I'm not too big on like organizations. The only org that I follow is SKT, and that's because Faker is the one and only god.
Yeah, they're now T1. They rebranded.
T1. Let's
Yeah.
go. But that's how I met Dylan, and from there we progressed, and we were the Wichita Tomahawks for a bit, and we progressed to Wichita Wolves. Shortly afterwards, and I'm here now. So I've been just about everywhere in terms of esports for like the last 3 years.
Nice.
Really
Okay.
interesting.
I guess I kind of had a similar background with Anthony, except for like the whole org, because I actually started in college as well, and I was actually vice president of the K State group, but really it just took a break like right after college from esports. I was like, I so the thing is, I signed up. I tried to apply for like bigger orgs like Cloud9 because I thought I was being ambitious, but it turns out they don't want some scrub from Kansas that has from some no-name college in Kansas. So took a break from that, and finally my passion like came back, and now I'm in the Wolves.
One thing that I really like is it wasn't like when I started this company that I sat down at a table and I was like, okay, like everyone come apply. Like throughout our growth and throughout the time that the Wolves have been a thing, we've just slowly built this amazing staff, and we've been able to figure out like whose strengths and weaknesses and what they are, and we've really tried to focus on their strengths. And like, I mean, for example, like Timur, I mean, I met him through somebody that was who was once an employee and he's no longer here, but Timur, I met him through him, and it's he works directly with Discord. He's a coder, he's a graphic designer, he makes everything from scratch, and usually someone like this is thousands of dollars per month, and he works for nowhere near that. And I mean, that's for everybody here. Everybody is for the vision, and it's crazy how we all come from these different backgrounds and we all love what esports is. And you know, without this company, we would have no idea who any of us were. You know what I mean? So I think it's just really cool that this has brought us together and made this community, especially our staff. Like, we have such an amazing staff.
Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to Timur real quick. That's all most of the graphics were him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so quick shout out to him. John, you can go on ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good, man. Going off of what Scrimsy said, with like meeting everyone, and you know, if this was never made, we wouldn't all be here. Yeah, take that example from yesterday. I was just chilling in Ludwig's Discord, and he just ever so happy to find me in there and ask me to be on here, and you know, how could I not accept? It's something that I really wanted to do anyway later on, and I'm glad to be here, and yeah, I'm glad to have met everyone, or a good bit of people in this community, and yeah, I also I'd like to point out I am probably the youngest here, you know, at 17, not being in college or anything, so it's
oh god,
that's crazy that you're 17.
bit of a different environment.
Yeah.
Oh god, am I the oldest one here? Oh no. I'm the boomer of the group, unfortunately.
And I'm the Zoomer, man. That's all right.
I don't even have TikTok. Like, that's how behind I am right now.
All right. A question that I wanted to ask is, what are your expectations for the future of the Wichita Wolves for this team? And I'm asking everybody, just in general.
I'll go first. It's really, we shoot for the stars here, and I think we can all agree like the next step, we've done everything we can in the tier 3 as far as like competing, and there's just not a lot in tier 3 esports. And with the amazing staff that we have, and all the players and the rosters and all of our graphic designers and editors, we really want to start making strides into tier 2, and without dropping a lot of exclusive information. We're working with some people and some private investors to try and jump to tier 1, but it's our real goal to own a franchise in some sort of esports. So whether that be LCS, CDL, OWL. And so we really want to try and jump from a tier 3 to a tier 1 esports team before the end of 2021. So
that's a good goal to have, especially with your kind of ideals. And the way you're going right now, I really do think that it's very much possible, and I can't wait to be there, to see it to grow. And, yeah. Anyone else want to add to that?
Mind if I add on to social media department real quick for my goals?
Yes.
I just want to be Wendy's Twitter. if I'm being completely honest.
Ooh, dude, that's- yo, can we get some pod champs in chat? That's probably the truest thing that'll ever be said on this podcast. I'm not even gonna lie.
Like there's like tiers for like different organizational Twitter accounts. Just like the top tier, like the higher echelon is like right here, and then Wendy's is just like bam up there.
If I may, someone in chat asked what tier 3 is. So like, if you think of esports in this perspective, if you will, so tier 3 is like your amateur teams, and then just anyone that can really start an esports team and can compete in any tournament. Then you have your tier 2, which is semi-professional. So
pro teams.
Path to pro teams that are have the talent to potentially go pro as long as they keep putting in the time and effort. Then obviously you have your pros. So NFL, MLB, think of it in that term. So three tiers is how we like to talk about it.
I'd just like to point out on the social media thing that I think that we should take notes from the SKT1's Twitter, because whoever they got to be their new social media manager is very toxic, but he's very funny.
Yeah, T1 social media is great. I agree. I've seen retweets from them from like I don't know G2 and Cloud9 and all that, but like I actually
They
haven't sat
shit
down
on
and
G2
followed.
on the daily.
Yo, the G2 at T1 bromance. It's just perfect.
It's all because of the BMW sponsorship, the United in Rivalry sponsorship. There's so many good memes have been made out of that. Like, have you seen this BMW SUV? It has so much trunk space so you can take out the
Oh, yeah, I
trash
saw
and
that
a bunch of
one.
trash bags.
I saw
With
that
their
one,
logos
yeah.
on it.
That's genius. I love that.
Notice how Liquid isn't on there anymore. God rest their souls. Moment of silence for Team Liquid. Okay, we're done.
Rip.
Yep.
All right, let's run 2 minutes of ads and finish up with some Q&A.
All right, yeah, let's do that. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Think, bro.
Yeah, I know it's connected. It doesn't link up to anything.
All right. Well, welcome back. We're going to be starting off with some Q&A now. Pogi, if you'd want to take it here.
Before we go, if you guys have any questions as well that you want to ask in chat live, please ask away. We have a list, but we will also take them from the Twitch chat. So if you have any questions, shoot them over.
Good genes, I guess. I don't know. I'm just going to go with that. I personally don't see myself as that. So.
Pogi, are you muted
Yeah,
again? brother?
we're good.
Family. What's your heritage?
Yeah, I got it. What do you say, Scrimsy? Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna look at some stuff on Discord really quick for some questions.
Let's do it.
So this comes from heavy rainfall. This is actually a question I wanted Scrimsy to answer. Do you guys have any organizational rivals right now?
Oh goodness. So what do you mean by rivals? So there are other tier 3 esports teams that we see a lot on Twitter and that we compete against or will be competing against. I don't necessarily call them like a rival, but like if we have somebody that's like comparable in size or that we see a lot, it would be Depth Esports, and we're actually going to be playing them in the Upsurge Premier League for Rocket League. So if you guys want to, definitely stop on by over there and drop some hashtag Beware the Pack. And yeah, but if we had to have one, I think it'd be like Depth Esports, just to
Didn't you
pick
say
one.
like Cosmic too?
I mean Cosmic, yeah, but I think in order to like say that they're like a rival, we should probably be able to beat them in a COD match first.
No, we're definitely gonna beat them in a Rocket League match, and I'll beat Mitch
I
at
agree.
anything he wants to play me in.
That is true. That is true. Mitch, if you're listening, hop on some chess, please. I'll smack you. But yeah, no.
Who's-
I mean, again, like really, if we had to have one, it would be Depth, just to throw a name out there.
All right. You got.
I'm gonna answer this question in chat real quick, Pogi.
Okay.
The question was, what games do we play? We play generally just like a whole bunch of games like CS:GO. We play Rainbow Six Siege, League, Overwatch, Rocket League, a whole Valorant. You know, just
If there's an esport, we probably have a team. At this point, we have like 16 rosters for 16 games, so
Mhm.
it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we gonna take the chip in Upsurge?
Say it again.
Are we gonna take the chip in Upsurge?
Of course.
I don't even know what
That's
that
the
means.
Championship.
All right.
All right,
Let's see if I can
next
pull up some
question.
questions. I guess we can do some like some fun questions. This one comes from someone named, hold up, Assassin Safi. What is like? What could that possibly mean? I don't know. But is water wet?
No.
Water makes things wet.
Right.
Yes.
Let's get some more. Let's get some more
Yeah,
questions.
let's get some more
Another one.
questions. Correct answer. Okay, I'm scrolling up real quick. Or how about this one? This one comes from Miku. Are there any new skills anyone is picking up from coronavirus?
Practicing cooking.
Oh goodness.
Yes.
Cooking. That's a good one.
yes.
In regards
Very
to the
good one.
corona, like just regular skills, cooking for sure. In regards to
Mhm.
like just everyday life organization, like
Mm.
I've been trying so hard to be a much more organized individual, and nothing else is better than that than just sitting in a chair for 10 hours a day. So clock champ, clock champ.
Thump, what could you say your best dish is?
I'm gonna say my hot wings pretty much slam,
Mm.
but I've been making a mean burger. I've had a family recipe for hamburgers that I've been practicing the last few days, and it's
I
going
respect
pretty
that.
good.
I respect that too.
You can always trust a man that makes a good burger.
I make some good French toast. Not gonna lie.
Ooh.
Yo.
I'm just saying.
Actually, though.
Like I'm in this
Or,
I'm in this
you do
weird
anything?
scenario with my cooking where before like I like cooking with beef and pork and all like red meats. However, now I'm marrying someone that is allergic to red meats, and it's kind of a challenge trying to
Yikes.
That's enough.
Gotta find another.
cook.
gotta
I
find
mean, she can
another
eat chicken. That's fine. I can cook with chicken, but like I'm trying to find some other stuff I can do. So that's the challenge for me.
I've never heard of that one. I've just heard of people that don't eat red meat, not that they're flat out allergic to
Yeah,
it.
she's allergic to it.
All right, I got a question for Scrims here in the chat. How often do we take applications for spots on a roster or a spot on the staff?
It really depends. I mean, as of right now, tomorrow the website is still under maintenance, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Do we have an ETA on when that's supposed to be back up?
By the morning.
Tomorrow morning, okay. But to answer your question, for rosters, it really just So a big reason on why we take the rosters is one, when it comes to esports, especially in the tier 3 scene, we have to separate the people that just play video games casually versus people that truly want to do this for a career. And so one step and one small speed bump that we can add to that to really get the type of player that we want is by putting in an application, because a lot of people don't want to put the time in just to type an application. I know it's crazy.
Right.
But from there, just because you've applied doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get a meeting. In most situations or in most circumstances, what we'll do is we'll source that application, or we'll look at the application, see if we have any available spots for the game that you've applied in, and if there is a spot, or if there's a roster position open, or even a sub position, management, coaching, whatever it may be, then from there you'll be contacted and reached out to. However, if there's a new roster, or if there's something else that you're interested in that you want to start for the Wolves, or any other just generalized questions, you can always just DM the team Twitter at Wichita Wolves GG, and we can do business from there, because I know that the application process can sometimes be a little strenuous. But when we first started the applications to More Bryce, I mean, we probably got close to 100 in like a 3-week time period.
Yeah.
And so there's just no way that we can possibly schedule that many interviews. So we just have to see, as far as, what we have, what we could potentially host, and go from there. But for staff, I believe there's a staff portion on the website as well if you're interested in applying, WichitaWolves.com. Or you can also just DM us if you have any generalized questions about becoming staff. So.
Very nice. All right.
Yeah.
You got that next question,
Looking,
Pogi?
So I guess from Birthday Ninja, how come the word nonchalant is a word but chalant isn't?
That hurts my brain. That hurts my brain.
Man, I didn't even have coffee earlier, so I don't want this to ruin me.
Okay,
too.
John, the one thing you gotta know is that the Overwatch team is a bunch of memers. So
Oh,
They are.
True. Very true.
That's a big true.
like they're cool guys, but God, they beam so much.
I'm fairly certain they meme more than they practice. I think that's a fair statement. So.
I think it's about even.
Yeah. All right, let's get some more questions before we close up.
Hold on, Sparks. What did you answer? Hold on.
Well, there's your problem, Sparks. You put it in Discord, you goon.
Yeah. Dang. I can't find it. Oh, don't tell me that was the one we had to delete. Oh no. That's a yikes.
I see this question in there. Do you not see it?
I don't. Okay, Scrimsy,
It's a
what
bug.
is it?
I think he doesn't see it on purpose because I think I remember what he was gonna ask.
I see it. Go ahead. You can type it in chat.
Yeah,
Type
type
it
it
in
in
chat
chat and I'll get
We'll
to
answer
it.
another. We'll answer another question. Do you see Wisdom's question?
Oh yeah. Actually, you know what? While we get that. Oh. Okay, I see it now. The person that keeps the Wolves running is Scrimsy. More or less. I mean, I guess it's a collaborative effort. Can you say?
What's the question?
It's who is the person that keeps the Wolves running?
I
Oh.
hate you, Sparks. I hate you. This question is nothing but argument.
I don't. It's all of the Wolf staff, man.
Okay.
It's everyone. We all do it together.
All right, moving on. Speaking of wisdom, let's answer his question. Who do you get in contact with in order to start building an esports organization?
Or a team.
Yeah, like a roster, or the question says like building an esports organization. I had no idea what I was doing when I started this team originally. I just started putting stuff together, and it's now this. So yeah, I have no idea. I had no one to consult. So I just did a little bit of research, did some studying, and I call it studying, but I really just looked at what other esports teams did a couple months before I started mine and went from there. So just do your own research.
Yeah. Guess we can get another question from Heavy Rainfall that I didn't get to. If the Wolves could only be known for one game in esports, what would that be? Any game.
Fump, please answer this.
I would really like us to have a franchise in the OWL. I think that would be the best choice for Wolves, personally. I think LCS is they're primarily dominated by like just brand orgs like Cloud9, Evil Geniuses, Immortal, that kind of stuff. But for like actual city-based names, it would fit better in the OWL. Not
Yeah.
like I say that because CDL and OWL aren't really comparable to me because OWL is definitely bigger. It reaches a more vast audience.
Yeah.
Right.
And like if you look at the map of OWL teams, like we're in a place where there's pretty much a dead zone. So
I was really hoping for like a Kansas City team in OWL.
a lot of people are talking about St. Louis having an OWL team.
Okay, I'm okay with St. Louis. That's close enough.
St. Louis is vastly superior in esports than Kansas City is.
Right.
I think it would be very cool to see OWL team for Wichita Wolves.
Just the
and all that stuff.
Midwest because
Yeah,
the
just
closest
in
team is
general.
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or
there's literally
Dallas,
no
I guess.
teams. Yeah.
For a Minecraft team.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we need
can you even-
Minecraft.
Can you even yeah. Can you even consider Dallas as a Midwest team?
Eh,
Or
Dallas is more south to me.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm just saying closer to the Midwest, like
Yeah,
teams that are close to the Midwest, not really Midwestern teams. Because as far as I know, there are no Midwestern OWL teams.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, that was a good question.
Yeah.
ZealSync threw in a question just recently
Yeah.
on Discord.
Are you guys going to be having guests on the show? Yes. Almost every episode will have a guest, unless we can't
From
find
what-
one.
From what I know, like this episode is just more so like an introductory, and so we've had some staff on here to just kind of test the waters out, see how the podcasts go. But from what Poggi and I have talked about and decided, we're really going to have other organization owners or staff, or CLX or Agent Inc. Or more so, one thing we really want to do is get you guys talking about what you guys do as far as roster players for the org and what it means to be a player for the team, and what you guys do in your specific games. So
But yeah, I think within probably sometime this week, we're going to talk about like who we want to bring on next. It's not going to be to this scale. Like 6 people is a lot for a first podcast. Next one will probably have like 1 or 2 guests that includes me and John. But yeah, we'll talk about that sometime this week. But yeah, good question.
definitely.
All
All right. I think we should do 1 or 2 more, and then we'll end it off
Yeah.
to.
I agree. SW4 Tex Noob, do you plan on doing any LAN events for the community when COVID stuff is over? Of course.
Yeah.
For the
when-
community, like us hosting?
Yeah, I think one thing that I really want to do is get more involved in the actual in the city of Wichita. There's an organization here called Big Brothers Big Sisters, which essentially is like a mentoring program where children in underprivileged homes essentially seek out like an adult mentor or friend. And I think really what would be cool is if we have just a handful of the kiddos or a group of kiddos and their bigs and littles come to the facility and just play some games, talk to some of the players, and just forget about those lifestyles that they're trying to get away from and things like that. And I also want to really get involved with like the Kansas Humane Society that's also here in Wichita, especially because the coronavirus has occurred. Those animals aren't getting near enough attention or walking as they normally would. And so I think like just getting a bunch of Wolves players out there, just walking dogs and having fun with them, playing around would be really cool. But as far as hosting events, we at our current scale aren't really at size or nor have the resources to host a LAN event as far as like a competition or a tournament, but we could definitely host just like a community event where people come together and talk and hang out or play some games at headshots or something or other that way.
All right. And I think we can do one more question. So, do we... so if anyone else has a question, I'll answer the first thing I see on the chat that isn't too troll.
I'm gonna go back to that to like the community events and stuff. For what I can see from one day of being here and everything, I do think that a LAN event isn't that realistic as of right now. But if we were to do an event, it would probably be online or something,
Mhm.
most likely. But
Yeah.
yeah, at least that's what I
And we do
Okay.
community events all the time.
Right,
yeah.
We have game nights where people can come in and chat and talk. And so, really, if you guys aren't already doing that, follow us on Twitter, Wichita Wolves GG. We post all of our updates on there in regards to like community events or game nights or announcements for podcasts or anything. So, definitely the best way to keep in touch.
All right, I think we got one more question from Josh. Out of the 6 of us here, who is the most elite gamer out of the entire group?
Tamor.
Take your
Yeah.
Timur, can you,
Tamor.
can you
What's
speak
your
up about
argument? What is your argument on being the most elite gamer in this
this?
entire group?
He's muted right now.
Dang, I guess he.
Wow. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Okay,
Gotcha. Good talk.
Tamor.
Let's go.
Oh, oh.
You heard it here first,
You're,
folks.
you're the best gamer out of us 6. You hear that?
Yeah. We heard Scrimsy plays a mean Bastion, apparently.
Dude, I was on the
Oh,
news
man.
playing Bastion. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, we saw that.
Old, huh?
I play good Zenyatta, but that's just me. I mean,
Wowza.
I play a mean
I'm
Lucio.
support main.
I play good diva. Winky face.
Of course you play D.
I'm just saying, 1v1 me in CS:GO. We'll go at it.
All right.
Alright.
All right, you want to end it off here, Poggy?
Yeah, I can end it off here. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in to the first episode of the Wichita Wolves podcast. And now I will give it over to the guest. I will give you 15 seconds to say anything you want to end off the stream. So, who wants to go first? 15
That
seconds.
definitely should not be a thing with every guest we have. This is how
Yeah,
you
just-
get TOS'd.
I mean, just say, just pitch anything you want to. 15 seconds.
Let's go the other way. Let's go Thump to Tamor to Tuning to me
Yeah.
and you guys.
Alright.
Yeah, if you ever want to apply to Wolves, I'm probably going to be the person that oversees your application. Follow my Twitter. That's all I have.
Alright. Tamor?
Don't send me admin applications.
Don't take Tamor's job. We got it. Anthony?
Okay. So my question for the podcast was like, what's the best Pokemon, right? And my big 3 would be Poliwrath, Luxray, and Cyndaquil.
Mind if I
Those
answer
3.
that? Mind if I answer that really
Go
quick?
ahead.
Okay, so my 3 favorite Pokemon is Slowpoke, Pancham, and then this little guy right here. So cute.
Oh
It's
god.
a Rowlet.
I can't see it.
Oh man,
It's a Rowlet.
Oh,
I love Rowlet.
my 3 favorite are Victini, Celebi, and Chikorita.
okay. Is this taking over my
Wow.
15 seconds?
No,
Yes,
you
it
can
is.
keep going. You can keep going. That's fine.
good.
I'm at 5.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. And Scrimsy? You want to end it
My
off?
3 favorite Pokemon are definitely like Gengar,
That's a good
Duskull, and I would probably have to say like Blastoise. You know, gotta throwback.
I
But
was-
anyway,
I was about to call you an edgelord. Like,
I know,
a
I know.
huge edgelord.
But no, really, just follow the team on Twitter. That's the best way to support us. We really use all these demographics and statistics to grow the business and to grow the team at greater heights than we ever could have possibly imagined. So at Wichita Wolves GG, stay in touch, stay in tune. We're going to be doing these podcasts weekly at approximately the same time, and just be kind, love one another, and have fun.
All right, and John, do you got anything else to say?
I'm not Swagger. I just want to let that be known. Before
I think
anyone
you are.
asks
Fuck,
again.
dude. Everyone's going to stop
um,
watching now.
Oh no.
Yeah, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/John, and yeah, that's about it.
All right. then I guess I'll end it off here. I just want to give a big shout out to someone special in my life, and I felt like I didn't see her on the special day, and that is my mom. She's actually watching this right now, I still think. And on the topic of Pokemon, she did make a Pokemon like masks out of my old bed sheets when I was 5. So thank you to that. And anyway, that will do it for the first episode of Hunting with the Wolves, the official Wichita Wolves podcast. And so same time next week. Oh God, she got it right here. There we go. Thanks, Sophia. But no, tune in same time next week, and we will have a brand new set of guests and brand new set of topics to talk about. Anyway, see you guys in the next one.
Adios.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Alright, we're good.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Good job, boys.
Woo!